Today on the Muskie Daily, Muskies get a sneak peek at the new library.
Muskingum inducts its newest Athletic Hall of Fame class.
And the volleyball team is without its head coach.
Hello, and thanks for joining us on the Muskie Daily. I'm Chad Holmes.
And I'm Johnny Newhart. We begin tonight with an update on the presidential search at Muskingum University. In April, President Ann Steele announced her June 2016 retirement. A search committee has been since formed to find the university's 25th president. Board of Trustees Chair Hal Burlingame says an official announcement is out to the public seeking candidates.
And we announced to the world, we're now looking for a new president.
Okay.
Let us know if you are interested, or let us know if you know someone who you think we should be talking to.
Muskingum has its own candidate up for election. 20-year-old Jason Schaumleffel's name is on the November ballot, and he is running for Tri-Valley School Board. A 2014 graduate of Tri-Valley, Schaumleffel hopes to be back at his alma mater come January. Schaumleffel hopes to bring a youthful perspective to the school board.
Ideas like post-secondary education, where kids are going to, instead of going to high school, they're going to colleges to take those courses. Ideas like bringing technology in the classroom and trying to advance that. And just like I said, bringing that young person's, intuition from coming from high school just recently and kind of seeing what needs to be fixed.
Schaumleffel is not new to public administration. Over the summer, he had the opportunity to participate in 8 internships, including one with the county commissioner's office. If he doesn't win, Schaumleffel knows he will have still gained experience.
I've learned a lot, how to put signs up, how to do a campaign door to door, how to talk to people. It's a lot of work, but it's nerve-wracking because you spend so much time, energy, and money, you want to win.
The Roberta A. Smith Library is nearing completion with just some finishing touches left. Orbit Media News correspondent Christine Holmes has the inside story on the library.
Muskingum University's latest project was on display for all to see during the October 23rd dedication of the Roberta A. Smith Library. Students, staff, faculty, and alumni had the opportunity to set foot in the new building over homecoming weekend. There will of course be traditional books, newspapers, and magazines, but the Roberta A. Smith Library is also part of the digital age. The library is designed to be open for collaboration. It features several stations for students to plug in and use technology to study and work on projects.
Again, a center for the academic, the social, and totally supported everywhere by technology. You cannot sit down and not be able to plug in.
The architecture inside the building includes the Colloquium Center, featuring a 1,500 square foot glass wall and fireplace. The alumni stairs are the stairs from the original library. Splitting the library in half is the grand staircase. On this side of me you have the new part of the library, while on the other side you have the renovated version. Also new to the library is the education department, which will be moving into the library and taking advantage of its 7 classrooms next semester. The Roberta A. Smith Library is slated to officially open for the start of the spring semester in January 2016. For Orbit Media News, I'm Christine Holmes.
Up next, how Apple is leading in innovation yet again.
And later, we'll have your weather and sports.
We have the music. We have the cameras. We have the talent. Orbit Media, where the magic happens.
On the story. On the quad. On the scene. This is the Muskie Daily.
Apple still remains the tech firm to beat. The world's most valued company saw its profits jump 31% last quarter. Now it has high hopes for its new Apple TV, which hits stores in the U.S. on Friday. Their Senior Vice President of Internet Software and Services, Eddie Q, gave CNN's Brian Stelter a preview and explains his vision of how we'll watch TV in the future.
We wanted to change what TV is, and to us, TV is about apps. And in order to do that, we had to bring a touch interface. Same thing that you have with your phone and how it revolutionized things, which was apps and the touch interface. And so we came up with a remote that actually lets you touch and slide across and move very quickly, and also takes advantage of things like Siri so that you can talk to it to find things, and then bring the app ecosystem, which the greatest things about apps is you don't know what people are going to do with that. They've created incredible apps that we've never thought of on iOS, and we think the same thing's going to happen on television.
Let's try it out if we can. You've got the remote.
I do.
So show us how it works.
With Siri, I can find anything. Find that Friends episode with Brad Pitt. And what Siri will do is it'll take me immediately into that product page with the episode highlighted. If you know the title of a movie, you can find that as well. Find Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
And I can watch on Netflix or on iTunes.
Yes, so if you look here, it says available on, and you can see there's an iTunes selection and Netflix. So with one single search, I was able to look across multiple services, and it surfaces for you where the show is available on. Would you like to try?
Sure. So we're inside the CNN app here. It's so intuitive, I guess, to use this remote, but that's because it feels like a phone, right? So that's why it feels so natural. TV covering TV, I love that. Has Apple TV graduated from the hobby that Steve Jobs famously said it was many years ago?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, we have over 20 million Apple TVs in households today, and we think this is really going to revolutionize television. So this is a big deal for us.
Essentially, what you're trying to do is fix TV.
Well, I think we want to bring TV to what the world is today, which is being able to do things that are interactive, being able to search for things really easily. These are things we're all used to on our phones, on our iPads, but we really haven't been able to do on TV.
An Arkansas man has been collecting pennies for nearly half a century. So what did he do with all those pennies? He took them to the bank, of course, and he got back a pretty penny. Here's his story.
I started this probably in the late 60s, early 70s. Started putting them in these jugs, to the point that now I have acquired 15 water jugs. It just seemed like it was initiated by the fact that if I would see a penny on the ground, in the hallway, on the floor, or anywhere, I would automatically, invariably say a prayer of thanks. And I said, well, this is God's way of reminding me that I should always be thankful. And there are many occasions when I fail, get up in the mornings and fail to pray. And invariably, I'll see a penny, and it will remind me to pray. I became fascinated with my piles of pennies. The children at school knew that I was saving pennies, and they would bring their pennies to me. I would never let anyone give me a penny, not even my children or my wife, because I wanted the satisfaction deep inside that God and I together did this. I have not spent a penny in 40 plus years. I would break $1 before I would spend a penny. Back in the late 60s or early 70s, the government was giving $25 extra for every $100 of pennies that you turn in. Even then, I refused to turn my pennies in to earn that extra $25 per 100.
Andrew says he'll use the $5,000 in pennies to pay a dental bill. Up next on the Muskie Daily, we'll take a look at the weekend weather forecast.
Later, we'll see how the volleyball team is faring without its head coach.
And the newest Hall of Fame class is inducted over homecoming weekend.
We have the music. We have the cameras. We have the talent. Orbit Media, where the magic happens.
On the story. On the quad. On the scene. This is the Muskie Daily.
It appears we escaped the rain tonight because it is predicted to be mostly cloudy tonight, low around 37. Tomorrow is expected to still be mostly cloudy with a high around 52. And for tomorrow night, there will be partly cloudy skies with a low around 37 degrees. Now here's a look at your extended forecast. Muskingum University volleyball is without head coach Elizabeth Zicha. The coach is on unpaid administrative leave following an assault charge for allegedly throwing a water bottle and striking a player's face during a film review session. Head softball coach Carrie Winters is filling in for Zicha for the remainder of the season. Despite the ongoing investigation into the volleyball assault, the team is still pursuing their goal of hosting an OAC tournament game under the direction of Winters. The players haven't had to worry about Winters' knowledge of the game, as the coach was always a volleyball player in middle school and high school. Winters' versatility has helped the Muskies to a 3-2 record in Zicha's absence, with wins over OAC opponents Mount Union, Otterbein, and Wilmington. The Muskies now have a chance to complete their goal on Saturday when John Carroll visits New Concord. With a win, the Muskies will clinch a top 4 seed in the tournament. Muskingum honored the Athletic Hall of Fame class of 2015 over homecoming weekend. Marty Kurtz reports.
During homecoming, one of many annual events is a Hall of Fame induction. The induction includes a ceremony and breakfast in the Rec Center. This year's 5 inductees were Jack Lofstrom, Jeff Haycock, Heather Shingery, Wade Chapman, and Jessica Gates-Grandy. Muskingum University Athletic Director Larry Shank presented each of the inductees with a plaque honoring their accomplishments in the sports they participated in. They each look back here on their time at Muskingum. Wade Chapman was a 4-year letter winner in wrestling and a 2-time NCAA Division III Scholar All-American.
Bus trips were very memorable. Hanging out with the guys was always a good time. We had a real tight bond.
Shingery was a 2-time first-team All-Region honoree and named to the NCAA World Series All-Tournament team in '98.
One of my other big moments was probably the furthest home run I hit. I don't know the actual measurements or not. Was it Ohio Northern? You know, Coach Newberry always got so excited and everything else when you hit a home run.
Lostrom was a 2-time All-OAC first team and a team captain for football in '56 and '57.
A lot of fun, which I pointed out in my acceptance speech, was the fact that Muskingum gave us the opportunity. There was no scholarship, so we were playing the sport because we loved the sport.
Grandy was a 3-time All-OAC honoree, ranking 5th all-time in points scored in women's basketball with 1,451.
We were playing Capital, and there were 3 seconds left, and we were down by 1, and they got me the ball, and I shot it, and we won.
And finally, Haycock was a defensive MVP for the football team back in '75 and served as head coach for 26 years, ranking 11th all-time in the history of the OAC in career wins.
Well, I think you remember the relationships that you have, and it's hard to pick out or individualize anyone when it's 26 years. There's hundreds and hundreds of athletes, but just the opportunity to work with young people in a special place like Muskingum and watching them progress and develop.
The inductees were also honored at halftime during the football game against Ohio Northern last Saturday. For Orbit Media News, I'm Marty Kurtz.
We have the music. We have the cameras. We have the talent. Orbit Media, where the magic happens.
On the story. On the quad. On the scene. This is the Muskie Daily.
Lambda Alpha Elson is hosting a haunted house road trip to Mansfield Penitentiary on Friday, October 30th. There's a $10 fee per person. There will be limited seats available, so make sure to register early through OrgSync.
That's it for the Muskie Daily.